So last week, Destiny patch 2.5.0.2 was launched to a very mixed reception, to be kind to it. Some people enjoyed the changes and thought that the emphasis on primary and the Crucible was a very welcome change. Others despised the changes and thought that they were completely unnecessary. But that's another story for another time. So this week at Bungie dropped. And honestly, it came with some of the best communication that we had gotten from them in a while. So what it seems that they're doing is that they're in the process of testing new changes to address some of the criticisms of the hotfix that were going around the community. Now, before I get into some of these, I want to stress that they did not give us a time frame, so we do not know when these are coming. It could be probably months from now. They also said that these could be subject to change, that what was written in the update may not come, may not be the same as was spoken about, or it could just be completely left on the cutting room floor of the dev room. So, with that in mind, let's get into this. So let's start out with Sidearms. We are currently working on a change that would allow Sidearms to continue to spawn with a small set amount of ammo post-death, but keep them from stacking anything extra. I'm alright with this kind of change, I think. I think it's a relative middle ground. I still find that the whole letting Sidearms spawn ammo upon death kind of goes against what philosophy they were going for with this patch. I think it kind of goes against it a little bit, but I suppose as a middle ground, this is better than just letting it stack and stack and stack until they're at like max ammo or something. So, for me personally, that's alright. Up next is the Memory of Scory. We are looking at modifying Scories to motivate some activity. The change currently testing requires to kill the Jumpstart Scory's unique ability for the next minute. Once that in time is up, you'll need another kill to jumpstart it again. Now, this artifact has been very kind of controversial, I want to say, in the Trials of Osiris, so that's kind of the main reason they're doing this, because mainly what people did in Trials is that they kind of sat around their spawn point, and then just kind of sat together and built each other's super up in a way. Now, it sounded like an alright change, in my opinion. It sounds like a decent change, but I think the big thing that I'm hoping for Destiny 2 is that, as you can see, they're still kind of trying to separate. They're not able to separate PvE changes from PvP changes yet. That's the big thing that I'm hoping for Destiny 2 that they're able to do. I mean, I don't think this is the kind of thing that's going to kill Scory in PvE. I don't think that at all. I think it's a good change without kind of accidentally gutting it, like they have with many other weapons, abilities, or pieces of armor. Because what they've done in the past is that they've made these changes that while they balance on the PvP area, it kind of completely guts it in the PvE area. So, overall, I think this is a decent change. I think it's, at the very least, a good middle ground, or not middle ground, but it's a good change to the problem that was persisting in Trials, without accidentally killing it in PvE. Next up is the Truth Rocket Launcher. Reading that we are looking into adding one additional rocket into your backpack and bumping Truth to the max rocket launcher reload speed. Honestly, this one I'm just kind of happy to see, because when I originally read that in the patch notes, it was just one of those changes that made me sit there and question, like, why? What's the reasoning for nerfing a rocket launcher like this? It just seemed completely unnecessary to me. It just didn't seem needed, I think. But I'm very happy to see that they are kind of making some changes and, even giving a little bit of buff in the reload speed. So that's very nice. Second to last is the Knoll Beyond. Now I'm going to go ahead and paraphrase this one a little bit, but also have it on screen just in case you want to read their words as well. But basically what they said is, while they don't want to take its exoticness, and they don't want to take it from like your primary and put in like your secondary, they don't want to take away what makes it unique. Their current change right now is to give it a bit of flinch that all the other snipers have. Now, I personally can't comment on this one a lot because I don't really use the Knoll Beyond a lot, but I'm sure quite a bit of people do, especially now. So I think this is going to be very interesting to change to see how this will be taken into account when using it. That's interesting that I didn't even know it didn't flinch like all the other snipers. I just kind of assumed that it did like, everything else. But I guess not, so I guess we'll see where this one goes. And last but not least, we have Blink. They say, while we're happy with the latest changes, we believe that the stack of nerfs has grown too high. To counter this, we are looking into removing the old recovery nerf entirely. Additionally, we are also looking at pulling back the time that you're HUDless by just a bit. So I'll be honest, I'm someone who never really got used to using Blink, even as a Hunter main for like 2 years. Or, well, technically a year, maybe a year and a half. But I'm just happy to see that they finally know when to say enough is enough with the nerfs, and that they're going to try to restore it a little bit and bring it back, so they're not just consistently beating a dead horse that's just completely been nerfed so much that it's completely useless. So overall, even though I don't really know what exactly this means for Blink as a whole, I think it's, at the very least, hopefully sets a precedent for kind of future nerfs so that they know when to kind of stop and just take a step back, buff it a bit, and see what happens. Because it's been nerfed so much, what else can we do? I'm overall very happy with what they did this week. This was some of the most clear communication that we had gotten from them in a while, and I'm very happy to see that they know when they messed up, that they know they need to change things, because this is a patch that just didn't go over so well with everyone. And I know it's hard to please everyone, but the hate that this patch got was some of the most intense that I had seen. It was just despised. It was hated. It was foul-mouthed. And it felt like there wasn't a lot of defense around it. I mean, sure, there's people who did like it, but at the very least, a majority from what I saw, people didn't enjoy it. So overall, I'm just very happy to see that they're able to address our criticisms and complaints in a clear, honest, and transparent manner, and that they're telling us that they have plans for the future. So what do you all think of these changes? Are you alright with them? Would you do things any different? Would you have just reverted back to how it was before the patch? Or is there something that in these kind of changes that you would do differently yourself? I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on this and hear what you have to say about it. Until next time, everyone, this has been Notewise. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to stay up to date on future content, and hopefully I'll see you next time.